Hey, I just wanted to show you how to use those citation tools in Google Classroom. And before we do that, just a quick reminder on why we cite. It's really about being part of that conversation, that community of readers, and to those ends, providing verifiable, consistent, comprehensible, and sufficient information so that others can go back and look at the sources that we've used and understand them. So again, the information that we'll need, we're kind of answering that who, what, where, when, and how set of questions, really to be able to guide those readers back quickly and unobtrusively, meaning no hassle, back to the source if they're looking to find it. So those are really our goals. We want to be able to create a pathway to get back to the source that we used. And sometimes a URL isn't enough to do that. And sometimes we just want some information in there so that even if they don't want to revisit that source, they have a little bit more context for where it's coming from and how it was made. So I'm looking at an assignment here that we worked on before about fake news. And hopefully, at the very least, if you've been gathering sources, you have them bookmarked or the links thrown onto a page so that you can easily get back to them. I believe I've already cited this source, so this is the one that I'm going to focus on. This is a Newsela article, so it might ask me to log back in, in order to really access it. And there I am, I'm back on the article here. So if I come up here to Tools, you will see I have a citation tool within Google Classroom, or within Google Docs. And here's the citation that I've already made. So if I want to add another citation, I just click Add Citation Source. Before I do that, I do want to point out here I've got MLA selected. There is an APA and Chicago option, but MLA is most common in an English classroom. It stands for Modern Language Association. All right, so this is not a book. I'm going to call this a newspaper article because that's what it is. It was originally published in the Los Angeles Times. You can see that right there. And I'm going to say that I accessed this in an online database. To me, that's kind of what Newsela is like. It is sort of a portal to get you to a lot of different articles by a lot of different sources. And then when I say online database, it's going to give me an option to be able to cite Newsela as well. All right, first things first, my author is Karen Kaplan. And you'll see I'm just going to largely copy and paste the information from the original source because that means I don't have to worry about figuring out the spelling. So my author is Karen Kaplan. Got her last name there. First name here. And I'm just using keyboard shortcuts, Control X for cut, Control C for copy, Control V for paste. I don't have any additional contributors. I come back over here. My article title is right here. Article titles change, oddly enough, often for newspapers. So you'd think that that would be just a great piece of information, the only thing you'd need to find an article back. But sometimes as different editions come out, that headline can actually change pretty frequently, and even it does online sometimes as well. So there's my article title. My newspaper title, and if I come back down here, is the Los Angeles Times. And then this is going to ask me for the day, the month, and the year. So my date is typically all listed together. So it's actually, I don't probably need to copy and paste that one. The 18th of March, 2008. So my day is 18, my month is March, my year is 2018. I think I said 2008. 2018. The city here is going to be Los Angeles. I don't know if I need that necessarily. It gets a little bit redundant, and that's pretty clear from the title of the newspaper. Not a special edition. These, you'll notice, don't have that little star by them, so it's less important that I include those. If I can find that information, if it's somewhere on here, I could. But since I don't have it and it's not highly recommended, I'm not going to worry about those pieces. Next thing it's asking me for that is recommended is my database. And so this is Newsella. I don't think it's going to tell me my pages. Sometimes when I look something up, it'll say, oh, it was on pages, 8 and 9 in the newspaper. Doesn't tell me that here, so I can't put that down even though it's recommended. Access day, month, and year, especially if you don't have a good date for publication, it's really good to include that. As such, right now, since I do have that date, it's less important, but I could say, okay, I'm looking at this article on December 9th, 2020, or maybe there's a day that I know I was pulling lots of information out of it. I could count that as my access day. I'm going to leave it blank for now, though, since I do have a good solid publication date. And I don't know that there is a standard number. Some databases will have a reference number that you can use. Okay, I pulled that information over in just a couple minutes. I click Add Citation Source, and then it's right here. And I can always go in and kind of make some adjustments and things as well as I go on. When I get all of these done, and I still have about 2 more to do, I think, I would come down to the bottom of this, and I'm going to go to Insert Bibliography, and then it's going to put it there right for me. It alphabetizes it for me, and I can make any small tweaks or changes that I need to, but so much of the work is done for me. All I have to do is fill in those boxes over here. So citations within Google Docs are pretty simple and straightforward. There's always some problem solving when it comes to citations, but that's all part of being part of that academic community.